Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time finding the channel, welcome. I'm happy you found me, and if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Hey, we got Thanksgiving in just 3 more days. I know that you can't wait to get into that turkey or ham or whatever you're having. I know that I gotta be candid with you. Thanksgiving is my favorite and has always been my favorite holiday. But I won't be with my family this year. I will be with a different family, and I'm planning on enjoying myself for a little bit. And when it comes time to be around a lot of people, my daughter always said I'm so antisocial. And I'm laughing because I know she's going to listen to this and she's going to laugh too. So yeah, I'm laughing with you. All right. So I am trying to break out of that. And a long time ago, I used to be the life of the party and always threw parties. So right now, I'm going to enjoy life. And that's basically it. I have a message for you today. And I was going to wait to give this message because it wasn't really fully completed. But you know what the heck? We're coming up against Thanksgiving, and the New Year is coming up too. So, I didn't forget about Christmas, but I have a message, and I want to ask you a question first. Have you ever looked at a garden with complete admiration? I know you may not even be into gardens, but when you see a beautiful, well-kept, symmetrical garden, without a doubt, you come to admire its beauty, don't you? But what's amazing is there are all kinds of gardens. You have botanical gardens, herb gardens, water gardens, wildlife gardens, Japanese gardens, and of course everybody know about edible gardens, even theme gardens, which are designed around a specific theme, such as Shakespearean gardens with plants mentioned in his plays. And there is something they call a moonlight garden with white blooms, and butterfly gardens enriched with nectar-rich flowers. Now, man, isn't that awesome? I've been looking online, and I was amazed at all the amazing gardens around the world. And I gotta tell you, the one thing that I realize is, we get to admire beauty in all its splendor. I thought about gardens, and I thought about a long, long time ago, my late wife, how she wanted a garden in this little backyard we had. And I mean, it was really small. And it was so small, I don't believe you can technically call it a garden, but we did. And in creating a garden, my wife researched what she needed to do. One of the first things we had to do was figure out where would the garden be and how much space we'll have for that garden. And when I tell you it was tiny, so tiny, it really wasn't no space to really grow anything. Where we were living at that time, it was like only ugly weeds that grow. And a large portion in the backyard was a concrete, and we had this little plastic little pool for the little girls and my grandson, Xavier. My wife was so determined to have her small garden. Nevertheless, we moved forward with it, and we moved forward with her tiny garden. She found out what type of plant she needed to plant, and she also had to look at the sunlight, how much sunlight was going to be there and how much shade she would have, and she tried some plants, and then she also tried plants that wasn't suited to grow in our backyard. But thinking back on her garden, I got to thinking about why don't many more people have a garden in their backyards. Then it hit me. It takes a great deal of work to create and maintain a garden. And there is a whole lot that goes into growing a garden and the upkeep, and it's downright consuming, especially on the weekends when you have time. And then I realized that not many people want to allocate their time on the weekend. They rather be doing something more fulfilling with their time, and I get it. I mean, I was there, so I know that is one of the feelings why, and maybe it might be, money, or it just might be a time thing where they really can't do it physically. What about, and this is what really got me, is a garden in our backyard, but what about the garden of life? Because my wife had to research what type of seeds she would be able to plant. And then it got me thinking about, what type of seeds are we planting in our garden of life? I mean, what type of seeds are you planting in your garden? We all heard about the mustard seed and how it grows, right? It's even been referenced in the Bible on how it's the smallest of herb seeds, but yet when it yields its full strength, it becomes one of the largest herbs, and it becomes a tree where birds can perch on, and so on and so forth. When I think about the ground that my wife was trying to create her garden with, it was so bad. It was really downright terrible. And I don't think besides anything could grow there. So we actually needed to go get some soil because it tells you got to turn over the topsoil and basically allow some air to get in there, and they call it tilling the ground. When one tills the ground, it involves you turning over that top layer of dirt to plant your seeds. So I'm thinking we needed more help because nothing would grow. So we went and got a topsoil, and we got rid of our topsoil, and we used topsoil that we went and bought, and then we were able to grow things. This is an important step, dropping your seeds, right? Tilling the ground. You need to turn over that topsoil, or if it doesn't produce anything, then you need to go ahead and buy some soil that will allow you to plant your seeds so they can germinate, take root, and grow. Again, I'm going to ask you this question. What are you planting in your garden of life? So think about that. Think about your soil, how it needs to be prepared, and whether that be your mind, spirit, soul, and body. So you need fertile ground, right? Allowing the right seeds to take life, to germinate, take root, and grow. I want you to really think about something, right? I say the right seeds because there are bad seeds as well. And what are those seeds is what we actually consume daily, what we're watching, what we're listening to, and what influences are we allowing to take root in our garden of life. Really? So it's important that we think about those things. In Matthew chapter 13, Jesus, he talked to a group of people in parables, and he was telling them about those seeds. He sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell on stony places where they had no or not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, and because they had no depthness of earth, and when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell amongst thorns, right? And the thorns sprung up and it choked them. But others fell on good ground, and it brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, 60-fold, and 30-fold. And I know most of you have already heard that story. So I want you to take a moment today, and I want you to go somewhere where you can have some quiet and think about your garden of life and how you would need to till your ground from this point forward. Turn over the top soil, so to speak, and allow the right seeds to grow. So I want you to think about what it is that you need to do to move forward, because we're coming into a new year, 2025. You want to make sure that you grow the right seeds in your garden of life. And we know the mustard seed is it's a symbolism, right? The mustard seed is often used as a metaphor for growth and potential. So when you think about that, I want you to say, I want to sow the right seeds moving forward in my garden of life. I want you to think about this because this is deep. When you think about the mustard seed, right? We're talking about a small seed. So when you think about, I'm only watching this movie and that's it. But remember, what we see, what we consume, what we allow to influence us, those are seeds. So if that seed is like a mustard seed, and when it yields its full strength, if it's a bad seed and yield full strength, it can cause havoc in your life. So we want to make sure that we're planting the right seeds. So when it reaches its full potential, your life will flourish. And that's what we want, right? We want to introduce a small seed that will produce 100-fold, 60-fold, or some 30. And the reason why I'm saying to do this, take a moment and reflect on what you've accomplished throughout this year, what you're happy that you accomplished throughout this year. Reflect and then set the stage, set the garden, till your ground and make sure it's fertile and plant the right seeds that you might be able to yield 100-fold, 60-fold, or 30-fold in the years to come. Because remember, that seed, as it grows, it's going to grow and reach its full potential. What potential do you want to receive? So in that is the end of my message. And remember, faith, persistence, with the right seeds, you can grow just about anything in your garden. I'm hoping you're thinking of growing something good in your life. So my name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If you want to reach out to me, you have a topic that you want me to go over, hey, do so by reaching the last podcast 443@gmail.com. You can reach me, and if you have a poem that you want to share with my listeners, definitely reach me at the last podcast 443@gmail.com. I wish you and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving, but more importantly, I wish that God would bless you and shower you with all the blessings that it may not be room enough to receive. May you be blessed with good health, prosperity, and joy. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.